Hello and welcome back to another live chat video. I'm Jennifer Mata-McMahon. Today I thought we would concentrate on updating you on what's been going on with me health-wise and in terms of well-being. So I thought I'd title this video on health and well-being, updates of summer into fall and things that have been happening in that time range. If you see little ears, I think you can see them in the frame. Can you see them in the frame? There you go. Little ears right here. It's Max. Max is being a little needy. Max, actually I could update you on Max health and well-being as well because it's been a little troublesome. So he's being a little needy right now and he needs to be on my lap while I film this, and so he might steal some camera time. So let's get into it. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do over the summer was get on top of my health. And by get on top of my health, I meant starting to feel better. And I knew that I had it. And by getting on top of my health, I meant feeling better, physically feeling better, and getting my stress under control. I knew that once I moved and was settled in the new space, and once the semester was over and summer was on the way, since I was not going to be teaching over the summer, the stress levels would lower. They would reduce, right? I would feel physically better if I had less stress. But one thing that happened because I moved to a different state was that I didn't have any doctors here. So I had been suffering from headaches. I've suffered from headaches all my life, but I was getting very bad headaches and getting migraines, which I've had at different points in my life, but at this particular moment I was suffering from migraines on a more regular basis and not really knowing why. And I think stress had a lot to do with it. The move, being in temporary housing for a long period of time, the distance, having Mike be in Chicago and me here, the dogs, all the newness of everything and getting used to everything being new, a new job, new courses within the new job, new responsibilities, meeting new people, new colleagues, and also a new city, a new state, new surroundings, a new home, and everything that comes with that, changing your address and your license and your just everything, right? And finding new places to shop. And so finding new doctors was one of that also was also added to that to-do list of the newness, and the stress. It was added to the stress. But finding new doctors would have contributed, if I had found new doctors sooner, would have contributed to ameliorate the stress. But it wasn't until the summer that I really had time to dedicate to find a doctor that would take me in. I had made calls before during the school year and no one was taking new patients. And a lot of people, even though I have PPO insurance, which I selected purposefully so that I didn't have to go through my primary and get referrals for specialists, because I like to go to specialists. I know I have certain conditions and I like to go to specialists to get those conditions treated. And I was going to specialists in Chicago and I just wanted to find specialists here in Baltimore or in Maryland to continue the treatments that I had already started and that I have been on for years, because before Chicago I was seeing specialists in New York, and before New York I was seeing specialists in Caracas. So I've always been, on top of my health and seeing the appropriate medical professional for the condition that I know I have, or for the symptoms that I'm feeling. I'll go to the particular doctor that I know can address, or that knows about those conditions or those symptoms that I have. So I haven't found a primary doctor yet, because every single primary doctor I call is not taking new patients. But I found an endocrinologist, which I needed to tend to, because aside from my headaches, the neurologist that I found required a referral. And a primary physician, which would give me a referral, it wasn't taking new patients. So I finally found an endocrinologist who gave me a referral to a neurologist. So that was great, because I also needed an endocrinologist to see me about my thyroid. The issues, aside from the headaches and the migraines that I was having, were I've been gaining weight, and I've progressively been gaining weight. In the past, I would want to say 3 or 4 years, I've progressively been gaining weight. But this last year, I gained 10 pounds. And the year before that, I gained about 10 pounds. And in the 2 years before that, I gained about 10 pounds. So overall, I have 30 pounds more than my normal weight, right? So I figured I have been taking thyroid medication because I have hypothyroidism. And I am taking estrogen because I am menopausal, and both of those, menopause and hypothyroidism, cause symptoms that are quite similar. But even though I'm under these medications or taking these medications, I feel like my symptomatology is still present, right? So I'm still tired, my hair is still falling out, my acne is under control, that hormonal acne is under control. But I still, and my night sweats are also under control. That I think was, both of those things I think were due to the menopause, and that's under control, I'm guessing, because of the hormones that I'm taking. But I sleep very poorly. My hair is still very thin, and I'm losing a ton of hair. I gain weight very easily. I feel like my metabolism is completely shot. I'm constantly tired, and I get a ton of headaches. And I'm probably forgetting a ton of other symptoms that I have as well. I have other things, poor vision and poor circulation, that I was born with. And those are sort of the chronic issues. And my back pain has to do with stress as well. So all of these things together have made my life a little bit, pinchy, to not say sour or difficult. So the endocrinologist put me on a new medication plan for my hypothyroidism, which I started this past week. So far so good. I don't necessarily feel better or worse. I guess I don't feel worse. I might feel like I have a little bit more energy, but it might be due to something else that I'll get into right now. So I'm on a new medication for my hypothyroidism. It's actually 2 separate medications. Before I was taking one pill that was taking care of T3 and T4 together, and now I'm taking 2 medications that take care of T4 and T3 separately. And apparently that is better because of the volatility of the medication, of the T3 medication. So I'm doing that. She also had me do a sonogram of my thyroid because it seemed to be, from the physical exam, a little bit enlarged, but the sonogram showed normal, in the normal size range, so I'm fine. And she gave me the referral to the neurologist. So I went to the neurologist, and the neurologist, heard my stories of pain, and she said that I needed to do a few things. One is she prescribed a medication for migraines, and she said that I would slowly build up to the dose that was best suited for me. She says that every person has a different tolerance level, and I would have to build it up to my tolerance level. So I just finished the first week on 25 milligrams, and I have to up it to 50 milligrams for the second week, and then 75 for the third week, and 100 for the fourth, 125 for the fifth, and 150 for the sixth week, and see, say if 75 is good for me, that would be my dose. If not, sort of continue to increase it until I hit my dose. It's supposed to be a medication that makes me groggy and sleepy, so that is good because it's going to help me sleep through the night, which I'm having trouble doing because I don't know, I was always 1 minute Maxie once down. So Maxie, say bye. Bye to your people. Bye, people. Ooh, you see someone through the window. It's just a person, Maxie. Just a person running, okay? Now you have to wait. So the medication makes me groggy, which is good because it's going to help me sleep through the night. The bad thing about that is that Maxie's having tummy troubles, and he is now scratching the rug. Wakes up in the middle of the night needing to go to the bathroom, and if I don't get up and open the door and take him outside, he'll have an accident inside. And he sleeps with me downstairs in my bedroom, which has carpet, and all the basement downstairs is all carpeted. So if he has an accident downstairs, because for the life of him he won't use the pee-pee pads that I placed for him, or won't go into the bathroom, because why would you have an accident on the tile if you can have it on the carpet, right? So if I don't get up, he'll have an accident on the carpet. So that's the only downfall, that I don't want to get to a point where I don't wake up in the middle of the night, because if he needs to go out, I need to be able to open the door and let him out. Anyway, it's going to be good because the more sleep I have, the more rested I'm going to be throughout the day, and the more rested I'm going to feel, right? So I'm not going to feel tired and achy like I feel right now, and like I feel constantly. The other thing that it does, apparently, is it helps with weight loss, which is hallelujah. I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that happens, because really, even if I'm controlling my weight, even if well, actually, when I was doing keto, I did lose weight. So if I'm dieting, obviously I'll lose weight. If I cut all carbs and all sugar from my diet, I will lose weight. But that's not very realistic for me, right? So that's a conversation I had with the endocrinologist is, well, there's a lot of things I should be doing, right? I should be drinking more water. I should be exercising more. I should be having a more balanced, more nutritious diet. All of those things I'm not having, which is contributing to the weight gain, as well as the low metabolism and the hypothyroidism that I have. But it's just not realistic for me to not eat an ice cream or a cookie ever again in my life, because I've always been a sugar addict, and not that I'm advocating for it or saying, oh, if you are a sugar addict, you should always be a sugar addict. But I like it. I like sugar, and I like to have sugar in my life. With moderation is what is the key here, right? So, and not be an addict out of control, where the sugar controls me and I don't control the sugar consumption, right? So I think that that's where I need to take myself to that position where I know that I can have something sweet, but it's not the only thing I eat, which is where I am heading towards now, to have a more balanced kind of diet. So the 5 things think it were 5 things that the neurologist told me to do. Was 1, put me on that medication that I'm increasing the dose over time. The second thing was to stop taking any Advil or Tylenol, ibuprofen, over-the-counter medication. The third thing was to take the Venezuelan pills that I take for my headache, which are the only pills that soothe my headaches, because actually those ibuprofen over-the-counter medications she told me not to take don't do anything. So that's easy for me to drop because they really don't do anything for my headaches. But the Venezuelan medications, she says, have one ingredient that can be dangerous if you take too much of it too frequently. So I have to take little bits, little doses. I have to take little amounts of it a few times a week and not every day, right? So I can take 1 or 2 pills, say twice a week, and that's it, no more than that. Which is okay because that's typically what I take because I don't have a lot of those pills. Those pills are, my aunt sends them to me from Venezuela, and that's all I have. And once I run out, I run out. She said also, which is good news, that we have these ingredients here in the US, so she can make that medication for me. She can prescribe that medication, and they can make that formulation for me in a pill. So that's good. But I can't take more than twice a week. The other thing, the fourth thing that I need to do is drink water. And apparently, say I weigh 160 pounds, I need to take 80 ounces of water a day. And I bought myself this little water bottle. Let me show it to you. So I got myself this water bottle, and I got it before I went to see her. I actually brought it with me to the appointment. It was just in my bag, and I was waiting for her, and I took it out, and I was drinking water. And she said, yeah, you have to drink more, but you have to drink like 5 of those because this is a 16-ounce bottle. So to drink 80 ounces, I need to drink 5 of these. To this day, I don't think it has been one day that I've drunk 5 of these. I think I drink 3, on a really good day 4. But that's better than 0, which is what I used to drink before. Before, I was just so addicted to Coke Zero that the only thing I would drink during the day was Coke Zero. That was it. So the 5th thing I need to do, according to the neurologist, was stop with the caffeine. So she says you have to go through a detox, caffeine, 0 caffeine, and to get it out of your system. And it could take anywhere from 2 to 7 days. And it's hard, and you're gonna get headaches, because the thing is, I take caffeine because I get a headache. I'll drink caffeine, and the caffeine will help with the headache. But then excessive amounts of caffeine dehydrate the body, and when the body is dehydrated, then it produces more headaches, and then you get a headache and you drink more caffeine to get rid of the headache, but then the body gets more dehydrated, and it's a vicious circle, right? So it's this cycle of headache, caffeine, dehydration, more headache, more caffeine, more dehydration, more headache, more, so it's that cycle that I'm locked into. And I told her I'm addicted to caffeine. I have like a 2 liter of Coke Zero a day. I don't drink coffee. I love tea, but if I'm drinking caffeine, Coke Zero, I don't drink tea. All of that has caffeine, so I had to cut it all out. I'm on day 7 today. Today is the 7th. I started the 1st of September, and I'm recording this, I'm filming this the 7th of September, so I'm on day 7, which means that tomorrow I could start incorporating 1 a day. She said once I had completely detoxed myself of it, like after a week of not having any caffeine, I could reincorporate 1 a day, which is what I'm starting to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm debating if I would want to have a Coke Zero or want to have a tea. I don't know, because I've been craving both, right? So the cravings haven't gone away, but I have I have had 7 days with 0 caffeine. What I started to do was, before the medication arrived, because I started the detox the day that I started taking the medication. Once the medication arrived, that I knew that I was going to start it, I stopped the caffeine. I started the detox and I stopped in taking caffeine. Before that, I was slowly sort of weaning myself off caffeine because I didn't want to go cold turkey. So I started drinking only 1 or 2 a day, 3 max, but it was only 1 or 2, meaning 1 or 2 glasses, 1 or 2 servings of caffeine a day. And which is like maybe 16 ounces, like maybe a bottle of this, or maybe like a bottle of this, or maybe even less, because a glass I don't think has 16 ounces, maybe it has 8 ounces, maybe 10, and that helped. So going from 2 liters to maybe say 24 to 36 ounces a day to 0 ounces a day, to then again back to maybe 16 ounces a day, I think is what's gonna, like, if I would graph it, that's what's gonna look like, my intake of caffeine. What has happened? The first 2 days, I thought I was gonna die. It was hard. It was really hard. I was in a fog. I was sleepy. I was yawning all day. It felt like I needed a nap from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. I couldn't think straight. It was all like blurry. Thankfully, by day 3, which is the day I had to start classes and teach, I was okay. It was like a switch. I was lucid. I was energetic. I was like I am right now. You know, like I'm fine. I'm fine. I was on my own kind of regular biological rhythm, right? I'm not a morning person. So in the mornings, I'm a little kind of slow or a little not, you know. But in mid-afternoon, towards nighttime, nightfall, I'm on it because I'm a night person. So come say 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, towards 9 o'clock at night, I'm on. This is my my golden hour, right? My golden time. So it was good. Before that, though, the first 2 days, come 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was spent. I went to the Home Depot on, I think it was Monday. Yeah, Labor Day. I went on Monday, and I was groggy. I was driving there thinking, oh my gosh, this was a bad idea. I was like, I wasn't all there. And then I went to the Home Depot, and everybody and their mother was there. And I had a list of things that I had to get. I got one from the list because there was a line for the paint. There was no one around me that I could ask questions to help for the other. I needed some batteries and for something specific, and I needed help to figure it out. And I said, no, you know what? This is not a good day. This is not a good day because 1, it's packed, and 2, my head. This is not a good day for me. So I grabbed the one thing. Maxie saw someone outside. He has to bark. I think he's done. Okay. So I grabbed the one thing that was easy enough for me to figure out, which was a plant. I got the plant, the prettiest one I saw that I liked. And I bought the pot that I was going to replant it in. I paid, I put it in my car and left. And that was the only thing I got because I was just in a fog. So the rest of the list got done a different day. And, but that was it. After that day, the following day, I was good. It was it was like this blind, this veil had been lifted, and now I'm good. So yeah, I have cravings. Yes, I wish I could drink a Coke Zero right this second. Yes, I wish I could, have a cup of tea. I drink black tea, which has the same amount of caffeine as Coke Zero. So the cravings haven't gone away, but I know that I can function without it. And that's good. That's good to know. The bad thing, though, is that I'm compensating for the lack of caffeine with sugar. And because I'm not trying to kill myself, trying to eliminate caffeine and sugar at the same time, I'm eating sugar. I'm eating sugary things, right? So I have a meal and I'll have some candy afterwards, or I'll have a dessert, or I'll have a cookie, or I have ice cream, or I'll have something sweet, something that has sugar in it. I'm not drinking. Coke Zero has a lot of artificial sweeteners in it. It has zero sugar, but it has artificial sweeteners in it. And, okay, hold on one second. Okay, so Coke Zero has a lot of artificial sweeteners in it, but it's the only thing, I think, that has artificial sweeteners that I eat. So everything else that I eat has straight up sugar in it. So what I've been seeing is I've been sort of either gaining weight or I haven't been losing any weight at all. And I've been just eating regular things. The other thing too is I would drink Coke Zero when I was like stressed and compulsively eating. I would drink Coke Zero, and since that was just not really, it has 0 calories, it would fill me up with gas because of the carbonation of the soda, but it wouldn't give me calories. So it wouldn't add to the calories and to the weight. But now I don't have the Coke Zero, and I'm still with that compulsively eating for stress, the stress eating, but what I'm eating is sugary or carbs or things that turn into calories and fat, right? So that's the next step. I think now I need to control, sort of rethink the way I eat, and start putting control measures on carbs and on sugar, and up my intake of protein and veggies and fiber, and control the carbs and the sugar. My intake of water is skyrocketed because it's mainly all I drink, since I'm not drinking Coke Zero. I think that even if I incorporate one Coke Zero, still I need to drink water, because one Coke Zero is not going to suffice for all my drinking throughout the day. So I'm going to still be drinking a lot of water. So I need to, the next step is sort of reevaluate my diet and my food intake. The other thing I need to find time to in my schedule is to rejoin yoga. And I have a space, and I have a really good yoga channel online on YouTube that I can do, and I just have to find sort of the willpower to do it by myself here. It's easier for me to do it at home than to get myself to the yoga studio that I used to go to and get myself to class. Although it's much more fun to go to class and do it with other people than to do it by myself at home. But yeah, so those two things are still there on the to-do list. The other doctor that I've started going to is the chiropractor, and that has really helped with my back pain and my neck pain. And he has me on a program as well. The first week I went every day. The second week I started going 3 times a week, and I think I'm going 3 times a week for, I think, a month or so, for 4 weeks. And then I start going once a week for, I don't know, forever. I don't know. I've been going to the chiropractor for a long time, and I continue to go because the way you sit, the way you walk, the way you disalign yourself, and the only way to align yourself is to go to the chiropractor to get realigned. So I continually go to the chiropractor. I have an appointment with a gynecologist for October, because every time you find a doctor and you make an appointment, it's like 3-4 months in the future that they give it to you. So I have my appointment for the gynecologist for October, which is perfect, because that's when I typically go, like around my birthday, for my annual. And then I still have pending the dentist, the ophthalmologist or optometrist, because I need to get my eyesight checked. I think I need new glasses. I might need a new prescription for my glasses. I know I have a cavity. I might have more than one, so I definitely need to go to the dentist. And I have to find a primary doctor, because I need an annual physical and a checkup and all that stuff to be done by a doctor. And I need to find one that is taking new patients. So that still has to happen. In terms of well-being that is not sort of physical health, I don't know how, I bumped into this lady called Penny, who was doing a Connected Soul series. Connected Soul series. And it was video conversations of her with another spiritual, I don't know what to call it, spiritual practitioner maybe. And that person could have been a tarotist, or it could have been a shaman, or could have been a coach, or could have been, she spoke to many, and they were all women. So these were all women in the field of sort of spiritual healing that she would interview. And after the interview, they would all say, what they were offering in terms of where you could find them online, websites, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all social media platforms where you could find them. And then they would all offer something, either a reading or a class or a book or a handout or something. They would all offer something to sort of explain. And during the conversations, they would also offer something, explain something. So I followed her series, and I learned so much. And because some of them really resonated with me, I now follow those ladies that she spoke to, and have continued to learn from them, and they have also connected me with others, and so it's been a really, really enriching experience. I also sort of rediscovered Teresa Reed's The Tarot Ladies podcast, and she is doing a series also interviewing other tarot readers. In Spanish we call them tarotistas, which is a tarotist, but I don't think in English you say that. They just call them tarot readers. And so I'm like reconnecting myself with tarot, and I bought a couple of new decks, and I have like 5 or 6 new books that I've been like perusing and getting in touch with, and I want to get into the habit of throwing at least one card a day to give the card of the day for me to sort of guide, okay, what's the energy of the day, or what is this day going to look like, or what can I learn from today, or what do I have to be mindful of today, or what's, coming up for me, or if I want something, or I'm working on a project, or what do I need to focus my energy on, or advice on something, or if I have options to choose from, which one, is looking more promising, and those kinds of things. I think for that, tarot for me has been useful in the past, and I haven't had the the diligence of doing it consistently. And I think that now I'm excited to get into that habit again of doing it every day and just using it as a tool for understanding life, understanding what's going on and understanding life from like a spiritual realm, right? Not sort of just the physical realm, but tapping into the spiritual realm a little bit more. What else? Oh, the other thing that has been really interesting for wellness and sort of spiritual growth are some accounts on Instagram that I've discovered that have been incredible. There are these group of ladies that are on Instagram, and they are working with racial issues. So they're working with tensions with race, white and black mainly, but they work with women of color and oppressed women of color, and the tensions with white supremacy and unpacking biases that we have within inequalities, but also unpacking the privileges that we have and that guide the ways we live our lives unknowingly, right? So because these are unknown, hidden biases that we have that guide our lives, and they do it with such, not only grace, but with such knowledge. And I learned so much from just following them on Instagram and following just posts that they do or lives, and just hearing them talk and hearing them call out things that happen and unpack them in a way that is so eye-opening. So that has been incredible. That has really been incredible. And it was just because I was following an influencer in the UK that mentioned someone in, I think, Canada or maybe in the US that was one of these ladies that is doing this kind of work. And through her, I discovered a plethora of other ladies that are doing this kind of work. And now I'm kind of hooked on all these ladies that are doing this like soul-searching, human growth, spiritual work that is just incredible. And I feel like I have leaps and bounds to learn from them. And they don't necessarily claim to be experts. They claim to be doing the work and helping others do the work if they choose to do so, right? So, and I think that's what's also appealing to me, because there's nothing less appealing or more off-putting than someone that says, well, here am I, the expert, and I'm going to tell you what to do, and what you're doing is wrong, and I have the truth, and I'm going to tell you, right? There's nothing more off-putting than that. And they all have this attitude of, we're going to figure this out together, right? So it's great. It's awesome. I'm just learning so much from it. And I think that's been part of this whole well-being train that I'm on, that I've been on this summer and going into fall. And I'm excited to see what comes out at the other side. Like what I gain from all of this, from all of this health, all these health changes that I'm making, both with, the medications and the changes in the medications that I'm making, but also the the lifestyle the changes that I'm making, but also the spiritual and the conceptual and the ways I see and understand the world changes that I'm making. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens, how I change and grow, and how I feel at the other side. I think for me, I'm starting to feel lighter in my own skin. And I see it in the way I communicate and interact with other people. I feel like I'm more relaxed, I'm lighter. I'm less concerned or worried about how is it going to come across, or how are they going to portray me, you know, like is this going to be, or less measured in what I'm saying. I just realized that there's a really bad glare of sun coming in and the lighting is going to be horrible, so let's just leave it up to here. Very grateful for your time and for you spending time with me and listening to me blabber. If you're interested in anything that I've shared, just shoot me an email and I can share anything that you might be interested in knowing. Any of these ladies that I've mentioned that are doing awesome work on social media. If you want to contact them, maybe I'll put some links below in the description bar for you. But thank you again, and I will see you again soon. Bye.